All right, guys, what is going on? It's Friday, sunny, 58 degrees. Check it out. Oh, hi. Okay. Yeah, there you go. It's sunny out. Perfect. All right, let's get started. So I got some time carved out for the car finally. I'm sure everybody's been waiting for this moment. I know I have. We have the ThinkOBD 100. And thanks to my friend Larry for turning me on to this. We're gonna get this set up, figure out how to use it, and hopefully we're gonna find out what's going on with the car today. And I'm gonna walk you guys through this. We're all gonna share this. Unfortunately, I cannot find my headset for my GoPro because it's just easy, hands-free type of work. So hopefully I can find it. I've been looking everywhere for it. I have no idea where it is. So that's what this video's about. I'm just going to share a couple learnings too. I want you guys to be aware of. I was looking at changing the fuel filter because that also could impede flow, which would cause misfires. I was sold a fuel filter for this car. However, I later found out that my fuel filter, when I pulled the cover off under the driver's side, it is not there. It is in the trunk, so it's a permanent filter, if you will. It gets changed when the fuel pump gets changed. So that wasn't an option. I do want to check the volts, from my battery to see if my battery's weak, because I'm not getting a strong enough signal to my fuel pump. It's going to be weak. That will also cause another problem. Found out that my scanner will do that for me. However, if you guys don't have a scanner, you want to hit your battery with voltage, it should be sitting, I think, around 12.7, and then running, you should see a 13.8 or above. Check that, search it, check it, but that's what it should be, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, we'll get moving. I'm just thinking what else, if there's anything else update you guys on. I don't think so. So we'll get, like I said, we'll get moving along here. We'll get this plugged in, and oh, there is. I'm sorry. So let's take a step back. One of the learnings I got from Larry on the crank relearn is that, and we've been doing this exact thing, that we need to cycle twice. So we need to go through a cold start twice, bring the engine to temperature in order for it to apparently be totally completed, 2 cycles. I haven't been doing that. I've been clearing it after one when we throw a code, which means we got to start all over again and do the second cycle. So we'll get that worked out again, but I think this, again, scanner is going to tell us what we need to do. So I'm going to sign off for a few minutes, find out what my wife wanted, and then we will get to digging into this. Okay, well, you don't know this, but I'm telling you, I just took hot dog break. So I came back and I'm thinking about what I said, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to put it on yet. I think I'm going to do another warm cycle. You know, you get some food in you, and then you think a little bit better, right? More clear. That's how I work. So I think what I'm going to do is start the car, go through another warm-up cycle, and let it warm up to 180. And then we're going to check the codes. I'm not going to drive it. We'll check the codes because they're still going to be in there. And then we'll see if we get another flashing code too. But first, a warm up, then we'll put the scanner on, and then we're going to check the codes. Car's about at 167. I want to get it to 180, so it's taking a bit. It's a little cool out. We'll get this unpackaged. Wow. straightforward little puppy. It's got a charging cable, and then that's it. Oh, there's the Think card. A little bit of directions, but it should be self-explanatory, hopefully. We're going to look for the... Well, we're just going to get into it and see what it's going to do. We'll bring you guys along. All right, we got it plugged in. I'm trying to do the best I can without my my headset on, my hands free. So we're on a tripod. We are going to diagnose. I don't know if it's touchscreen, so we're going to say okay. So it's processing. We did get to 177 degrees. I could not get to 180. Okay, so it needs the ignition on. There we go. So there's a communication error. We go back, we're going to diagnose again. All right, so I said I had no DTCs, but I went in to read codes, and it found the, looks like there's one, maybe a 14. Random multiple cylinder misfire detected. Let's see if I scroll down to cylinder 1 misfire. We know that, and it's probably going to go through all the misfires, and it is. Now there's a permanent code that has a misfire. Cylinder 1. Cylinder 2 permanent misfire. Cylinder 8 misfire detected. That's also permanent. And crankshaft position system variation not learned. Whoa. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so here's where we're at. I had a long conversation with Larry. What we did, and this is pretty interesting. We ended up clearing all the pending codes, which were 1 multiple misfire. The remaining was each cylinder code was a multiple misfire, which left us with the permanent codes. And apparently, if I remember correctly, what's going to clear the permanent codes, there's 2 ways, is take it 1 to Ford. They can do that. Or 2, it's going to take 40 startups and warm-ups without misfires or without codes to clear these particular codes. So the last code is pretty interesting. So let me back up for you. I keep going the wrong way. You guys can see this. That's the misfire code random. And then we got cylinder 1 misfire. That's permanent. Cylinder 2 permanent. Cylinder 8 permanent. And then the last, it says crank position system variation not learned. That's real interesting, right? Like, okay, what did the N gauge do? So apparently, in order, and this is the way Ford does it, it has to have 3 consecutive deaccelerations from 60 to 40 miles an hour. Only after you drive the car, I think, 20 miles or more. So what we need to do is get this car warmed back up again, and then we're going to drive it about 20 miles, and then we're going to do 3 consecutive deaccelerations from 60 to 40 because it's taken all the data in to collect. Now, here's another thing that came up in our discussion, which I don't know if you've been following my earlier videos, but my misfires, I had a few, came after the tune, which I was suggesting it was the tune. So right before the tune was the clutch change. Well, we didn't do a relearn on the clutch change, and I didn't drive the car enough between the clutch change and the tune, right, to get the misfires. They happened after, from being on a dyno. You would have thought they would happen on a dyno. Here's another thing. When I took my car that had the transmission out, right, the battery was disconnected, and it was disconnected for a period of, I don't know, almost, it was at least a solid 2 months. Well, apparently being disconnected that long, it also erased some of its, I guess, memory, right? So the car's learning everything all over, which explains when we put everything back together, I started getting a barrage of problems, right? If you guys been watching the videos. So I hope, again, this is going to fix the problem. You guys can ride along with me. We're going to do that shortly after the car gets warmed up. And then I got to get some gas, and we're going to try this. And then when we come back, we're going to check and see if we have any codes. And then it was recommended to, I believe, clear the codes. All right, we're warmed up, and apparently a cycle warm, if it's the correct terminology, you have to get to a minimum of 160 degrees. So we are there. We are actually at 203, so we're going to get gas. Well, no, first we're going to wash. Maybe we'll get some pics for IG. Then we'll get some gas. We'll do our drives, and then we'll do this relearn. So that's how it's going to go. And I'll get you guys back turned on here in a bit. We just cleaned the car up. See in the photo, it's been idling the whole time while I wiped it down. I sprayed it down. Now, first time ever spraying this car at a car wash. I don't normally wash my cars that way. However, it was really dirty, and I wanted to do it because dirty meaning dusty just from sitting, and just to get it done. I like driving a car that, it's clean, looking good. Anyways, I took a picture of it. This is new. It's getting bizarre. So, this is a first. I pulled an L2 sensor heater circuit bank 1 sensor code. So, I just cleared it and went on with my business, because the objective here is to drive it 20 miles, do a crank relearn. We'll see what happens. The transmission has just over 200 miles on it. It still vibrates at certain RPMs, but it is getting quieter, which is great. Quieter when it's idling. I still, you can still hear it. That's the whine. And I'm okay with that. It's the vibration as it starts ramping up RPM that just kind of bugs me. And I'm hoping, again, as those gears wear in, that will go away.
Alright, I'm gonna shut you guys off. We're gonna maybe try and get some pictures while it's still daylight for Instagram, but I haven't got many miles. I got 20 miles to get on this puppy, so I really should be driving instead of messing around taking pictures. So maybe that's what I'll do. We'll get her out and just drive it and then do that crank the acceleration to see if we can get this crank to get learned. Alright. And one of the other things I want to mention too is when I pulled these plugs, they are a Motorcraft Iridium. My assumption was bad. I should not have assumed they were stock. They're not. These cars take platinum plugs. Iridium is a stronger, harder material, takes more temperature. You can use them in turbo applications, supercharged applications when you're getting a lot of cylinder pressure. However, I've been fine since I got the car. Those are the plugs that were in it. But I may go back. I don't know yet. It's another $40. If these plugs work out fine, we're gonna use them. The stock gap, I found out, there's the vibration right there. Hear it? The stock gap, I found out, is 28 thousandths. So that's why the tuner, I think, said 35. So I went to the NGK website and got that information. So I'm sure it's fine for now. I mean, 7 thousandths isn't huge, so it's not my concern. We get this crank relearned. Hopefully we can get that off the, the code and start working some of these issues out of this car so we can have some fun with it. One of the other items that kind of screwed everything up, apparently, and this is per my conversation with Larry, what he thinks really threw things off was the billet aluminum flywheel. Because of the weight difference, apparently that may have impacted also and caused, the issues with the crank relearn. Okay. We're on our third one. And what's happening, I'm getting to 60 miles an hour and it's flashing. It's coming, it's flashing now, but it started on the deacceleration. So, alright, we did our 3 deaccelerations. I'll do a 4th one for fun. There she goes, she's blinking. Alright, I just shifted to 4th gear. The engine doesn't sound like it's out, so I'm gonna give Larry a call. Okie dokie, it's getting late. I'm sitting here in a casino and had another great conversation with Larry. So we went through the 3rd crank relearn, and it's supposed to be between 1300 RPM and 37. I wasn't paying attention to that. I did it in 3rd gear, 60 backed off, and it coasted down. And on the 2nd one, I got the flashing code, and then the 3rd one, it seemed to be okay. So I'm going to show you what we stopped and we pulled the codes and we're reading them all. And the 0315 code for the crank relearn now is wiped out. It's erased. It was a permanent code, so that means the crank relearned. So that's great news. I'll let you guys take a look at this real quick. All right. This O2 heater circuit bank sensor, apparently there's a heater on the O2. It warms it up so it can start reading emissions sooner. So mine's faulting. I did spray the car down. It could have, who knows, got wet under there or something. So I'm gonna have to pull it apart, check it, but we're gonna go through these codes. We'll go, that was the first one. The second one is pending. Again, the O2 sensor. And Larry said that might just go away. So we'll figure this one out, but it's not as critical as the other. Now we got the random misfires. This is pending. Now he said we got more misfires pending, as you can see. Now he said to clear them now since the crank is relearned. We got a multiple, let's see, what does that say? Random multiple detected. Now this is just in history now. These permanent codes are in history, so this is what happened before. So it's not a problem. And then are we on the last one? 8. We got a permanent misfire detected, so that's also history. And then the last one is 9.9, as you see it, is also the O2 sensor. Again, now that's becoming history. Now, the crank relearn that you saw earlier is no longer there, so yay. We're going to erase the codes. I'm trying to see this through the phone, so sorry. And then we are going to so this little tool's been handy. We're going to see if they come back. Ignition's on. Okay. We're going to pull this thing out. We're going to drive it home. And hopefully we won't get any more codes. So hey guys, anyways, I think this crank relearn is successful. If we can keep the misfire codes off the car now, we'll find out like when we get home. I'll play a little bit maybe. But this little tool has been handy. I will give you guys a part number if you're interested. It's not very expensive, maybe a whopping $34 on Amazon. It was free shipping, but it's kind of great, great little thing to have. I mean, it definitely helped some things out because it's telling us things that the N gauge was not telling us. The other thing I learned from Larry, that N gauge never worked. It did not do a crank relearn. We did the crank relearn per the instructions of Larry, and that's why we did the 60 to 40 mile an hour DXL in a row 3 times, and it had to be like within like a 10-second period. Great learning experience. It's becoming a long day, and I was supposed to pick up dinner, and of course I forgot. Now I'm in trouble. So you know what happens when you get wrapped up in your car? You forget about everything around you, right? It's all good. All right, we got a close but no cigar, guys. On my way home, and I was just taking it easy. Again, on a deacceleration, engine light came back on, or it started flashing. Then something really weird happened, where I put the clutch in, and it appeared the battery light came on, and it appeared the car stalled. I tried to start it, and there was nothing, because sometimes that happens to this car. But anyways, I just had the key on, popped the clutch, and of course the car started, and I was close home. I got it home. So I'm going to read the code, see what it is, and then see if I can't find the voltage on my battery. My voltmeter's battery is dead. So I'll see if I can do that on this scanner. But we're not out of the water yet, and then we'll find out what this code is. All right, so we have one DTC in. Let's find out what it is. Then we jump to 1 to 14.
So O2 sensors pending. Random multiple. Misfire detected. So we're still getting misfires. Cylinder, 1 misfire. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is history. This is history. And the O2 sensor's history. So at this point, we can rule out any misfiring from the crank sensor. So that is cured. Now we can look at either fuel, possibly battery. Unfortunately, this car's got more than one thing going on. Why, I don't know. But, well, if our battery's low, that's going to send low voltage to our fuel pump. So, guys, we're not... Yeah, I'm going crazy. We're not out of the woods yet. Larry, big shout out, Larry, big help. We're working this out. We're getting closer. Our crank relearn is done. It's completed. The N gauge did not do a relearn. I'm going to repeat. The N gauge did not do the relearn, even though it confirmed. And the way we relearned it was 2 warm or cold starts, warm starts, whatever you want to call them. We had to do it twice to get the car to temperature, twice, 160 minimum. And then we had to drive at 20 miles. And then we did the, it really needs to be done in 4th gear, 60 to 40 deacceleration. So get your car to 60 on a smooth road, let it off the gas, deaccelerate, let the car deaccelerate on its own to 40, and then go back up to 60 and repeat that 3 times. That's how we did your crank relearn, but we were in 3rd gear. However, we were a little bit higher RPM than it recommended, but it still worked. It is not on our diagnostic DTC, so it's not there. So that's great. And like I said, we're moving on to fuel, maybe battery. So I'm gonna call it a night. I didn't get dinner, and I'm in trouble now. So. You know, we put our cars before our families. That's not good, guys. Don't do what I do, okay? Happy wife, happy life. So, to all my subscribers, thanks for subscribing. Hope you like the channel. Hope you're getting something out of it. And by the way, this is a OBD2 Look 100, I believe it was, scanner. $34 on Amazon. Again, I'll try and I'll put the number of it up on the screen for you guys. Anyways, it's a fun little tool, and it's cheap as hell, and it works. So, guys, great. Thanks, man. Have a great night. I'm going to chill, grab something to eat, and we'll keep this going, but we're going to nail it. Take care. Thanks.